Hello, 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 and welcome to formerly known as the monthly reset, very briefly known as the energy attunement and energy clearing, and now just called group energy clearing to make it easier and create some simplicity to it. And we'll see if that name sticks or not. I'm Stacy Hernandez, and I am a facilitator at Lightbody Academy. So I help with doing energy tracking, and I work with clients one-on-one as well as teaching how to track energy. I also have my own private practice in Denver and do a lot of teaching of classes and seeing clients privately in Denver. So I want to share something that came up today it definitely feels very appropriate to the energy that we're experiencing. So I was on my daily nature walk, and I found a very sacred, beautiful, remote place in the city I live in. And I do live in the city and pretty concrete around me, even though our city values a lot of green. And I found this like secret place that I go with the dogs every day, and I can let them off leash and we walk and we just have a blast. And this morning was like a really interesting feeling. Like I felt like I wasn't tapped into the energy of what was happening, but I was just in the present moment and nothing was really presenting for me. So I just keep on going about my nature walk. And all of a sudden my grandmother came in, and this is my father's mother. And she's a woman who I adored in a lot of ways because she was just very smart, and she had a beautiful following. She was a fifth grade teacher for like 50 years and had just this beautiful following of people who loved her and what she did and gave to the community. Not necessarily not warm and fuzzy at all at home with the family, but very much like her passion and love came out in the community. So her coming in, I wanted to instantly go into my like thoughts about her growing up and what my family said about my grandmother, my father's mother. And instead, I just tuned into her essence. And as I tuned into her essence, she brought such powerful things forward that I feel is why I've been called to bring it forward today with us. One of the things she brought forward is she brought our Seneca people. So my father's mother's side is connected to upstate New York, and her people are connected to the Seneca people. So that's an Iroquois tribe. And she brought forward some of the teachings that were disconnected from our people for many, many generations. I did not grow up connected to my native side at all, but it's been through callings to come back in connection. And what got me into that state of connecting with my grandmother is being in the elemental realm. So I set the intention as I started my walk into the woods and onto the creek, is I set the intention to connect with the nature spirits, to the elemental realm. And all of a sudden this fairy came next to me, and I had all these kind of nature beings all around me. And then grandmother came in. And when my grandmother came in, she started to show me that ancestry. But what the message was not only her showing me in my lineage of how she withheld love and how that lineage withheld love, she showed me why. And it happens to do with the kind of like colonialism and to keep the family safe, disconnect from the native, from our native connection to keep us safe. So whitewash, there's a lot of like stuff in there. But so I watched her lineage of becoming like really kind of stone cold with the family, like blocking out love. And that kind of blocking out of love became a part of who I am and walk in the world in terms of my loved ones. So I could give, like I watched my grandmother give. I give to my friends and to my clients and everything. But when it comes to being at home, she showed me why I withhold love. And it's a lot connected to me not wanting to face enormous heartbreak again. And that enormous heartbreak she showed me within the lineage of being radically disconnected from nature, from Pachamama, is like devastatingly heartbreaking, as well as being disconnected from a whole connection, a whole lineage of people. So that piece is what came forward so strong, and why, even in my own household, as much as I love and adore and would do anything for my children, and I feel the same way about my husband, I will only go so far in intimacy. I will only go so far in speaking truth. I will only go so far in giving bandwidth and attention. And so what happened with I just held the energy as all the stuff was coming up, and it started to dissipate. It started to clear out of me. And I asked, the nature spirits, just help me clear this, help me clear this. So my grandmother is still here hanging out with us because she wants to be here holding space for all of us. And what then came forward is a couple of things. One, it doesn't matter anymore, my lineage connection. I get to hold space and love it for whatever it looks like. I get to love the European side of my ancestry. I get to love the Native side. I get to love it all, right? So there's that piece of it, which I've always had inner conflict around. But bigger was about the message that came in very clearly was, it is time to love fully. It is time to love fully. And she just kept on saying it and saying it and saying it. It's time to love fully. And that message hit really hard. And I'm in there's a couple of us in here that are in a healing of the womb class. That's a 9-week class. And we're going through some really profound shifting around our womb space and clearing out and reconnecting to this feminine side of us. And it's opening that side of me, of really going deep within my ancestry, and also into my own womb, into really tapping back into the feminine. So this is the space we're holding today, is it's time to love fully. And what does that look like for you? Where are you holding back? Is it within yourself, self-love? Is it within your community? Is it with your people? Is it with your loved ones? Is it within your soul expression and what you're here to do? Where are you withholding that love? Where are you not able to love fully? Yeah. I know. I'd say thank you to my grandma. And I was in like a place where I didn't think anything spiritual was going to happen to me this morning. I was just walking, and this just came forward. Laura, do you have something to share?
Yeah.
And then Destin.
What you just said was just like pretty much nailed it to the letters of what I'm feeling with my lineage. It's the same thing. My mother was orphan, they're going back and back and back in the feminine, the masculine too. Nobody was showing. They show their love in providing and, taking care and everything, but not the true love that come from the heart, that just open space where you say, okay, we have nothing, doesn't matter. We have each other. We just have that love. So it's, yeah, that was pretty profound what you just said. And what I feel is at times, or, so far until I'm kind of realizing it now and trying to change that. Well, that shows in everything with my family, even though I love everybody, like you said, and, we're very close and everything, but it shows with them and it shows with the community and it shows with, everything. It's definitely connected to that. But also I was just until now or until recently, or actually right now, I just realized that a lot of time when I imagine my mom or when I imagine people that I really love, it's almost like an holographic, a memory that does not exist, like an holographic memory. It's like what I want to project it was, but it's not really. It's not the truth. And now what is coming up is, what is the truth of that? You know, how do I sensitize? You know, how do I become sensitive again to the truth of what really is, and just accept it, love it, and, you know, embrace it, you know, for what it is, not from what I imagine it is or it should be or whatever. So yeah, thank you. This is amazing, incredible. Yeah, thank you, Stacy.
Thank you. Thank you. So Destin, you're next, and then Arlene.
Oh, I'm so glad that you guys I was like driving really fast to get here, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be late because I like to be able to say something. So I'm glad that you're still partaking in that. What I've been dealing with a lot lately today, or last, I guess probably 6 months, and didn't even know it, is like different aspects of like shadow aspects. And wow, it's putting me through it. These shadow aspects. I guess I have to just come to a place. I'm not really sure how this completely works, but right now I just feel really in my mind and trying to get down into the body, trying to get down in there and really just be inside of myself. I guess if I could get some help doing that today, that'd be great. Because I know it's coming up, and it's like I need to stop being in resistance to the shadow aspect.
So do you see already, it's even a mental game of I'm trying, I need to, right? Like those pieces, it's still really here. It's still really here. So I understand. And so we'll set the intention, and you set the intention to get into your heart today, get in behind your eyes, get into your heart and connect on that level. And I will tell you, being religious around being in nature every day right now, like walking, I mean, I do about 45 minutes to an hour every day right now, because I have to figure it out. Sometimes it has to be at 5:30 in the morning because it's the only time I can fit it in my day. But that is opening my heart. It's softening me into me, like being able to connect with me safely. So if you can take that, and it's warm where you are now, right? You're not in cold Michigan right now. So you can be outside, you can connect. And I think you're by your people's land too. So there's a lot of healing that has to happen around that, you know. There's a lot of ancestral stuff. But if you set the intention to be outside, even if you're outside right now, setting the intention to be in my heart and connect with the nature realm, like the nature spirits, the elemental realm, it's all the same, you know, that is going to help soften things. So the guard isn't as up.
That's what my problem is, huh? It's like I'm not really trusting it fully or something.
Yes. And yourself. You're not trusting yourself to get in completely. Because this is about loving yourself. This is about loving fully. And right now, loving fully equals trust. Trusting that you have the ability to go within, to be in your heart, to be all in with feeling whatever presents. So there's a lot activating in the back of the neck when I go into
I'm like
it.
starting to cry because it's like whatever the aspect that's there is like been really, she's really emotional. Sometimes so emotional I can't handle all of it.
Yes. But do you trust yourself to allow the emotion to be there so it can dissolve, it can move through, that you're not going to stay in that state? That it's not going to kill you to be in that emotion, that heartbreak. And this is a piece you missed just a little bit, that I was I was describing a scene that I was in this morning when I was on my walk that my grandmother brought forward around my ancestors, and about the deep, deep, deep heartbreak that I felt and my people felt and my lineage felt and all of us feel as humans. All of us have this around this disconnection to Pachamama, this disconnection to our true spirit of who we truly are, which is not only a full expression of our soul, of who we are, but our connection to Pachamama, to the mother, to the divine feminine, to the elemental realm, all of it. We have not allowed ourselves to feel the massive heartbreak of this disconnect. So a lot of times when we're in our state of sadness, yeah, it may be connected to some situation, but there's deeper sadness that's being expressed too underneath there.
That makes
So-
so much sense,
So
Stacy.
trusting yourself that you got this. If the emotion is there, it's there because it needs to be there. That it's got to be felt. It's got to be purged. I feel like part of the Venus retrograde that we're in right now, and I know there's a lot of planets in retrograde, but this Venus retrograde piece is it's pulling up these past memories, these past feelings. If you are having people that were from your past coming back into your life, or these feelings that you haven't felt for a long time and since you were a kid or something, it's like like Venus is pulling that out of this right now. Because what I feel we're going towards is a reunion of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But this separation is all the stuff underneath, all the feelings that we haven't felt, all of the stuff we're trying to pull up and clear out of us. So all these feelings you're trying to have are confusing and everything, but they come from a place within you that has been unresolved.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I was staying with my sister, and I kept getting this anytime that she was around me, where my throat would kind of trickle. Like I'd feel like something would be coming up in my throat. And it was literally like some jealousy. And I don't even understand why, because I'm not jealous of her. And from what I can see, I hope she's not jealous of me, but there was these issues that I'm like, what the hell is this? Why would there be why?
Yeah, and
it's
it could
not,
be from when you were 5 years old, you were jealous of her because she got the lollipop and you didn't. Who knows? There could be something energetic in there that is unresolved still. Lot of sibling stuff has come up this weekend. A lot of like cousins, siblings stuff I've noticed too this weekend. It's interesting. It's interesting that that's coming up for you, which makes sense. Again, it's the childhood wounding stuff, the stuff that we haven't allowed ourselves to feel.
Yeah. May I say, if I would just
Mhm.
may say one thing, it's like,
Yeah.
I would stay away from the why.
Yeah.
Do you really need to know why? I mean, you had that feeling, feel it fully, and then dissolve it, find a way, bring it to the waters, bring it to the quantum, bring it to the light, just dissolve it, just once you
Yes.
notice it inside, really feel it all the way and let it go. I feel like the practice, it's more that now than going beyond and say, why did that happen? Or why is that? Or why do I feel this? Just
Mhm.
feel it.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. That's an important point. And the tools she's giving you around feeling it and bringing it to the sacred waters, setting an intention for the waters to take it, setting the intention for your Huaracocha to take it and pull it out, setting the intention to have your entourage, your spirit team take it out. You're not alone. So that tool of asking the pulling out be beyond you, which is still you, is a very helpful one. Thank you, Laura, for bringing that forward.
thank you, Stacy. Thank you,
Good.
everyone.
So Arlene, and then we'll start to go into our activation, but yeah, please, Arlene, bring forward.
Just a lot of this is I started crying when you were sharing, like immediately I started crying. And before I got on this call, like I have this bolster that I like to lay on, especially in like child's pose when I'm feeling a lot of grief. And I was just like crying a bit ago. And I've been trying to do a lot of womb work too. And I recognize that on my luteal phase is when I feel is the hardest for me, and where I feel a lot of grief, especially as I'm getting closer to when I bleed. And from what I understand, people have shared, it's like sometimes that happens because like it's like a grief of not having a kiddo, but like also it's feeling like it's a kind of that deeper grief, like you were talking about. Because I was just like, this just doesn't feel, it feels like deeper than that, or like it's always around this time that I'm just like feeling all this heaviness, all this grief. And like I really resonated with a lot of what you were talking about. And then it made me think of like my parents, because like my parents are from Mexico, and like just my interactions I had with them, this because I was back home for a little bit. They live in the States now, but they're from Mexico. And just my interactions with my parents, and I agree with Laura too, of like how they, in particular my dad, how like his disconnection, like he was the farmer, but like a lot of the times when it comes from like withholding the love, like
Yes.
he was like really in that providing thing. And I tried to have a conversation with him about like when I was back home, just like how when I was little, I didn't feel loved. Like I was like, I didn't feel loved by you. I thought you didn't love me. And then he was like trying to tell me that that wasn't true, and all these things that's like, and then I see that even in some of my relationships, particularly my romantic, where it's like, I'm still not feeling that because it's like that person's not fully in their like heart or things like that. And it's just, yesterday I was like literally saying that I was like, I no longer wanted to withhold, to like, I wanted to put my heart on the line for like everything. I was just like, because like the heartbreak is part of that part, but it was just like I didn't want to not do that anymore. I didn't want to like fully put myself out there anymore. And I don't know, it's just like everything feels really in alignment and resonant. And now I'm feeling just like all that grief of like that disconnect, and like, you know, just thinking about the Spanish colonization of like Mexico, and how that was like also really hurt and really damaged. And like growing up seeing that in my own home, where like, you know, that colonization kind of piece, because like my mom has a lot of aspects of curandismo that I didn't even realize until like these last couple of years, that I was like, wait a second, my mom was doing that to me. And or offered these practices. And just like the ridicule or like the oppression that she received from even from like my dad, of just like, oh, she's just, you know, whatever, she's like the thing, or like just really pushing down and hating on like the feminine. And how like I also agree that I'm trying to reconnect to the feminine, and recently there's been this calling or connection to integrate, like, because I feel like I get really heavy in the feminine, don't want to touch the masculine, or vice versa. And I'm reading this book called the Radiant Sutras, and it's literally about that dance and creating space for both. And it's really beautiful. It's like very poetic. And so I've been reading that every morning after I do a little bit of asana and stretching, because like I also think there's also like a lot of heavy masculine wounds.
Probably spelled that wrong. I apologize.
Oh no, it's okay. But like in society, we live in a very unhealthy masculine structure, and it's like we don't have I didn't have models of it. I don't think a lot of people do, of what healthy masculine and feminine looks like.
Mhm.
And so like that's also been my challenge of like, I'm trying to cultivate this thing and I have no model, and then I feel alone.
Yes.
And I have been trying to do ancestral work where I get guided. And I've had some teachers come to me and like tell me different things, or like show me things that seem really simple. So I'm still trying to like understand a lot of what my ancestors have been showing me. But it's a lot. It's
A lot.
a lot of emotion, and I'm trying to be in it, and I have been noticing a fear of being in it. Because yeah, I know when it's really deep, because in this internal message of like wanting to cry out to my mom comes up, because like I don't want to be alone in it. And when I was young, I needed that support. And so it's now of like, because I'm trying to build these parents, which are the divine feminine masculine energy dance for my inner child, so that she can feel these and I won't be alone, but also then the ancestors around me too.
Mhm.
But I feel like I could keep talking. Just like,
Ooh. I mean, this is so perfectly aligned to the energy that we're in right now, and what we're clearing and what we're working through. Thank you for sharing that. Know that the more that you're setting the intention to be authentic and know what's just allowing what presents for you to present, so much shifts in that moment when you are just in the energy of what's presenting, rather than going into the old behaviors, right? And the more we can start to embrace that divine masculine piece, that we are showing the way to the healing in a lot of ways for the divine masculine to heal. I notice the more I'm holding space for my divine feminine to reconnect to that, and I'm seeing my husband in that light as a divine masculine, he's softening and he's healing, and he's able to meet me in that moment in presence, rather than from his wounding or from his programming. So that is, but I've had to come to a place and a space to know that he's the one for me right now, to work through this, to heal, and to be with. And within you, is this partner the one I'm aligned to really open that door, bringing in a holding space for his divine masculine to show up? Or is he still coming from wounding, and is he not the one I'm aligned with right now to do that with, or she, or whoever your partner is? That is, just know that part, because there's a lot of discernment that's happening right now. We're always in discernment, and really tuning in to what's our truth and what's not. So I have no message around whether that person is aligned for you or not. It's not about that. It's more about, how are you showing up in the energy? How are you showing up? Because the more you show up in it, it softens your partner to be able to come into it too.
Yeah, and I feel that goes for fathers too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
yeah.
They
Thank
feel
you.
that fathers, that's, well, mother and father, all they went through is not like the time now. Before there were wars everywhere. There was like this, just the submission
Yes.
of the woman, and this, that the man that was
The
radiant.
radiant sutras. Okay. I don't know why I added a Y.
So I feel like, basically
Thank
the
you.
fathers too.
Yeah, thank you. No, I agree. Because I think I've noticed as I get older and I come back to my dad coming in authentically, I noticed the softening shift with him too. This last time, though, it seems like there was still resistance to really get more in that
Yeah.
heart for him. But
Yeah. And the more we can see him in his divine light, right? We can see him in that. the more we're not coming from our old roles or our old wounding and all of that too. I'm healing a relationship with my father who, we had abuse and alcoholism and all the things in it and, all of that. And he didn't know how to really, besides providing, show love, right? Just like Laura said, and all of us are saying. So, and I even like want to talk to him on the phone now, where I always avoided and avoided and avoided. And so there's some kind of relationship. He's less fearful now. So when I just kind of show up and I just talk to him and we talk about whatever stories he wants to share, whatever, but I'm just allowing him and he's happy. Like there's a happiness that comes forward. So there's a lot of just seeing us beyond the wounding. So let's dive in. Let's dive into our activation. And if you want to go off screen, so you're not just like being stared at, well, like your eyes are closed or whatever, if you want to lie down and we'll go right into doing some energy, like clearing work. Allowing yourself to take a few breaths. Settling in, getting yourself comfortable. Starting to bring your awareness behind your eyes. Bringing your awareness behind your eyes helps you to come into your body. Allows you to start to bypass the mental body, the ego mind. Noticing if bringing your awareness behind your eyes is something that comes easier to you, or there's resistance with going behind your eyes. And see if you can bring your awareness down to your heart space. So same type of sensation as bringing your awareness behind your eyes. You bring it down to the heart. I imagine myself sitting in a little rocking chair in my heart, being in my heart. And as you are here in your heart space, set the intention around the expression that came forward this morning around it's time to fully love. What intention do you want to set around fully feeling love? Fully expressing love. Time to love fully. Setting the intention to gain some clarity around loving fully. Being in full expression of your love. And notice as you set this intention, if you go right into the ego mind of wanting to know what that looks like. What is that going to look like in my life? Rather than being in the sensation of loving fully. You can imagine your intention as a wave of light that comes forward and comes through you. You bring your intention into this wave of light. And then allow the wave of light to fully expand around you. Perhaps it breaks up into trickles of light, specks, fractals of light. Perhaps it becomes one big ball of light. Perhaps it looks differently as your intention expands throughout your whole body, your whole light body. The space around your body. And it expands out, beyond the home you're in or the space you're in, beyond the town, city, country you're in. And it expands out into the cosmos. And notice as this expansion of your intention is happening, notice if there's any sensations presenting for you. Physical, mental, emotional sensations, visuals. The body is telling you something. There may be a physical sensation that arises, a pressure in the back of the neck, a pain in the knee, discomfort in the shoulder blades, sensation in the lower back. Just notice what presents as this intention expands. Notice if self-doubt comes forward. Notice if thoughts come forward. I'm not worthy of this love. Notice if there's any limiting beliefs, thoughts, or feelings. And as your intention is expanding, this beautiful divine light is coming forward to meet you and your intention. This light may look like a soft pink goddess energy. It may look like the light of all that is, this bright light of expansion. It may look like the starlight, the brightest starlight you've ever seen. Just notice as this light starts to tap into your light of intention, your expanded field. And what happens, what's presenting for you as this light starts to come closer and closer to you. For some, this bright light, whatever this light is for you, is surrounding you. It's starting to surround your whole field. For some of you, there's a yes in your heart to allow it to come in to your field. For others, it's staying around you. And notice if there is a yes in your heart to allow this light to help bring awareness to fully being in love with yourself, with others, with this life, and so beyond. This yes in your heart. Yes, good. I'm feeling it for all of you. This yes in your heart is allowing this love from the universe, this love from the cosmos, this divine light, this love come into you, knowing that it's here to help heal you, to help awaken you to deeper levels of love. That this love that is this divine light that is bringing love forward is here for you out of pure love. And notice as it is expanding in your field, in your body, in your awareness, notice if there's resistance to receiving this divine light love that's coming forward. And this resistance may look like and feel like a physical sensation. It may feel like thoughts or feelings. There may be a visual. And as you feel resistance, soften into it. Acknowledge the resistance is there. Soften into it. Softening into it may be you breathing through it. It may be asking your spirit team, your entourage, to help you move through the resistance. It may be another tool that you use to help be fully aware and welcome that resistance to allow it to dissolve. Beautiful. And notice if there's any sensations in your root, in your perineum space, perhaps in your womb. Notice if there is any sensation. There is an opening to connect with Pachamama. There's an opening to connect with the Divine Mother. She is matching and meeting your frequency from the lower half of your body For some of you, you will want to open the door to connect with her frequency right now. Others, it's just a matter of setting the intention to feel her love, to receive her love. And what's coming out of this space, what's coming from Pachamama walking up and seeing her come up through the lower half of our body up into our awareness, is a green goddess frequency. And notice if you resonate with this green goddess frequency that's coming in. And what she's bringing forward and saying is that she is helping to unify the love of the cosmos with the love of Pachamama into your field, into your awareness, into you, knowing that the love you receive comes from above and below and all around. But this unification, it's this divine light from the cosmos coming down, as well as this beautiful, beautiful love of the mother coming from Pachamama up into you. And the green goddess is here to help bridge the unification. And it comes from a yes within to receive this love. That this is happening to you here and now. Yes, 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 I received. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this unification is going to continue in your field for a while. What this green goddess is saying is that this is going to be a few weeks of integration, a few weeks of unification. And it's all being unified right now through the heart. If you feel the yes in your heart, to connect, to feel the love, to feel the integration. And that yes in your heart may feel like a lifting up feeling, an opening feeling, a song that says yes. Whatever the yes is for you. And if there is resistance around, I don't deserve this, I'm not worthy of this, notice that resistance and say yes anyways. Good. I'm disconnecting something from the back of the heart now for many of you that's trying to lock in the self-doubt, that's trying to lock in and keep the resistance going. There's a little bit of a dark force frequency that's holding in this, so I'm clearing that out right now. They no longer have power over this. You are fully claiming this love that you get to receive. No one can take this love away from you anymore. It's time to fully love. dissolving all the contracts and agreements to keeping this locked down. Yes, good. Some of you had your hearts locked up, and that's getting dissolved now. All those agreements to keep your heart locked down are dissolving now. And any relationship that tries to keep that pattern behavior program locked in is going to either start to wake up or dissolve away. Yes, yes, Venus is reminding us that we are in a time of reflection around relationships. So there may be more awarenesses over the next few weeks around where you can fully give and receive love, and who is in alignment and who is not. And there may be some fear that comes in around this. So the green goddess energy is helping to dissolve the fear, allowing you to see and be in truth for what it is. There we go. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not about shaming your fear. It's about seeing it, loving it, acknowledging it, and allowing it to dissolve. Good. Now there's more agreements and contracts that are getting dissolved around that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ha. Whew. Okay. The green goddess has said that she wants to stay with your spirit team, with your entourage for a while. She wants to help you to integrate these energies, integrate this unification. Yes, yes, yes. And she's saying to if you have time to be in greenery, in nature, maybe it's barefoot on the grass, or it's taking a hike, or buying some flowers. It's about, wow, even eating green, like salads and yes, good. Very, very powerful green frequencies coming forward. And what she's saying is that this green frequency is going to help with integrating. And for many of you, the green frequency is going to be behind your neck or in the front of your, like at your third eye space. For some of you, you're fully enveloped and fully surrounded by the green frequency. It shows up differently for everyone. Good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So these energies are going to continue to integrate. She's going to stay with you to help support the integration. And she's asking us to start to come back to our breath. And every time you're inhaling that green energy, the green goddess frequency. And every time you're exhaling what no longer is in your truth. I'm watching specks of toxicity come out, heavy metals come out in the exhale. I'm watching old belief systems, programs, expectations that are not our own dissolve in the exhale. And she's reminding us that the breath is going to help with the integration. And the space of that expanded space we were in is starting to come back into you. So calling yourself back in, all of the integration is now happening within. You will stay in an expanded state, but with the energies coming back into you. So if that means echoing your name out into the universe to call yourself back in, you can do that. It's all starting to kind of consolidate within now. Bringing yourself back into you. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Echoing your name around the earth plane. Calling your energies back into you. Echoing your name into the earth, into Pachamama. Coming back into you. Claiming the space around you, claiming your body. This is my space. This is for me to integrate. This is for me to connect to. This is about me. This is my body. This is my biosuit. This is the space around me. This is for me to connect to. Dissolving all that is not meant to be here. And what's going to help with the integration also are those divine sacred waters. You may be called to bathe, be in baths. You may be called to drink really healing spring water. You may be called to go swimming. You may be just called to tune into the waters. They're going to help. The sacred waters help with integrating and dissolving these old programs and emotions that no longer serve. So again, this green goddess, she's going to stay with you for a while until she's done. Welcome her in. You can communicate with her at any time. You can set intentions during dream time to connect with her. And you may also set an intention to connect with this beautiful divine goddess energy. I saw it as like a pale pink frequency as she came down as well for many of you. They may be together in your awareness. Yes, supporting the integration. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Giving yourself a few breaths before we start to come into the space together. And I apologize, I have gone over by 6 minutes, but I'm going to stay here to help process if there's any sharing that wants to happen, any connection that wants to happen before we end. I will stay here. If you are in an altered state, allow yourself to stay there. You can stay off screen, stay in your altered state, and I will turn off the Zoom when ready. But if you do want to share, Destin, yeah.
I'm feeling very nauseous right now, and it's feeling like there's some energy here that's making it difficult for me to receive the goodness. I'm just feeling really hot and really nauseous.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of energy just trying to move with that, with the nausea. What I keep on getting is get into the water. Like if you can take a bath, it's going to help soften all of this. It's going to help you. And you don't have to be in your conscious awareness connecting with with the frequency of the sacred waters. At a higher level, you're connecting. Bye, Darlene. Yeah, but on a higher level, you're connecting and grounding within, because the waters are going to help to dissolve a lot of these emotions. Because you're bumping up against some pretty heavy self beat up type of frequencies. How you get mad at yourself, how you blame yourself, those sort of things are coming up.
I'm feeling really hot, and I just feel like I'm gonna throw up, or it just feels really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yes. And you're allowing it to happen, allowing it to come through. There are times when we do this work that we actually do vomit and it clears energy. But there's other times it's just the nausea has to run its course, or the heat has to run its course.
Am I okay? What is this?
Yeah, it's just energy moving. It's energy, it's resistance. It's it's all of it. It's energy moving. So what I'm bringing right now is two things. I'm bringing what we call like the love gauze down. This is just like a divine, like a light of all that is light to surround you. And I'm bringing kind of like a light of all that is ice pack to your liver. Because when you can cool down the liver, you can really start to cool down the body. And so I'm surrounding the liver with this beautiful, cool frequency. I do this all the time when I'm getting overheated. I bring in that cool frequency into my liver. So one thing that a few of us learned yesterday, which was very, very powerful tool, and Laura and Sherry, you probably experienced the same thing I did, is that a lot of these like resistances is like frozen memories or frozen emotions in us. And these sacred waters can come in and start to dissolve the frozenness, dissolve it. And there's divine plasma, there's cosmic plasma connected to it, but that's a little too advanced to talk about at this moment. But these sacred waters help to dissolve. It's kind of like an ice cube, and then you pour water on it, it starts to dissolve. So when I go into cooling the body down. I'm not going into the frozen memory. I'm going into honoring the liver that's overactivated and bringing in that divine light as a cool frequency to help calm it down. I'm pouring that cool sacred water over your head right now, over your whole body.
Mm.
And there's a yes in your heart to receive this love that these sacred waters are bringing to you. There's a big yes right now. Yeah. This is good because it's allowing you to start to reclaim your power, that you got this. That when there's these reactions that come up, there's the other side. That the reaction may cause a panic or anxiety. And knowing that the other side is it dissolves, it goes away, and you don't have to stay in the state. How are you feeling?
Oh, still really hot and just trying to accepting.
Yes. It's saying yes, saying yes, saying yes. Yeah. And all these incredible women here, who I know all of them dearly, are holding this beautiful space for you right now as all this is moving through.
Thank you.
Each one of these women have profound levels of awareness, and their hearts are just expanding, expanding, expanding. Yeah. And Sherry's recommending taking some breaths right now.
I feel like when you feel that way, yeah, taking the breath for sure. But also, like before, the whys, or, stay out of the mind. Just, tell your mind, put your mind aside, make your mind do something else, and just say it's okay. Just try to get in the flow, that the energy will start moving. So if you stay in your mind, then the energy won't move, because the mind wants to understand, and the mind is not going to be able to understand what's going on right now.
One visual that I've done to help support that suggestion is, how like there's that term monkey mind. I imagine the monkey on my shoulder and I start feeding it bananas. So it gets out of the way, because then it gets distracted and it's having fun with its bananas. And then I can just go right into the heart. I have to do a lot of visuals to kind of trick myself into connecting at times.
Yeah.
So
they used to say also that do a timetable, 2 times 2, 2 times 2, or 1 + 1, whatever, so the mind is really busy, and then everything else can go without knowing it. Whatever keeps your mind out.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a shawl? Do you have a
do.
shawl? Yeah. It's the shawl wants to be wrapped around you. It's kind of wants to cocoon you.
I have a shawl.
Yeah.
Oh, just intense heat.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like we went pretty deep.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was very deep.
We did. Yeah. And if you have time to get into a bath, get into a bath. Yeah.
I've heard that several times, that coming
Mhm.
up. So I will do that. I'm going to do that.
Good.
Ah, or the beach, right? Like water.
Oh, yeah. Yes, get in that water. Yeah, good.
And I'm so grateful. Thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you for showing up. It's you showing up all the time. You're here. You're always here. You're dedicated. So thank you for showing up. Okay. We're gonna let you have your day. Enjoy your Sunday, or Lee, is it Monday or whatever it is for you? Thank you for being here, Lee, as well. Love you all very much.
Thank you, Stacy.
Oh, Lee is saying something. Yeah.
I'm not doing August, so I'll see you all in a month or so, I hope. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's nearly 3 a.m. here, so I'm kind of thinking that's one bit I won't miss, but
Yes.
I'll miss you all. I love you all and grateful
Love you
for
so
you.
much.
Love
Miss
you,
you
Lee.
too. And we'll see you hopefully in September.
Come back.
Okay.
Have a good
Yes.
month, Lee.
And no, this is always here and it's free and it's, I know it's early for you. Yeah, I do this
okay.
every month. Every month. It's
Okay.
used to be called the monthly reset. Then it was called the energy attunement and clearing. Now it's just called group energy clearing. We'll see if it sticks. But it's like usually the third Sunday at 9 a.m. Mountain time. It's I just had a wedding last weekend, so I pushed it to this weekend. So it's always here and it's just a free offering.
My space.
Yeah. So no, that's always available too.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
astrology one too.
Oh, yeah. The
The
planetary.
that one's you can hop on anytime.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what is that, Sherry? Is it the second Monday?
I think it's the third.
Third
Third
Monday.
Monday.
Third Monday
Monday.
at 4
Yeah.
p.m. Mountain. Yeah. So for you too,
can
Destin.
jump on that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank
It's a great
you.
one. Okay.
This little top ups.
Yes. Good. Love you. Love you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.